Dreams in which one finds oneself committing a crime or harming another person can be deeply unsettling. They often leave behind a lingering sense of guilt, confusion, or even fear about what such imagery might reveal about one's inner self. However, rather than being literal reflections of hidden violent tendencies, these dreams are more often symbolic expressions of emotional tension, internal conflict, and unresolved psychological dynamics. To understand them, it is necessary to look beyond the surface narrative and explore the underlying meanings encoded within the dream. At their core, dreams about committing wrongdoing frequently symbolize inner conflict. Human beings are complex, layered individuals who constantly negotiate between desires, values, and social expectations. When these elements clash, the subconscious mind may dramatize the conflict in the form of a crime. For instance, harming someone in a dream may not represent actual aggression toward that person, but rather frustration, resentment, or suppressed anger that has not been consciously acknowledged. The dream becomes a safe psychological space where forbidden or uncomfortable emotions can be expressed without real-world consequences. Closely related to this is the theme of guilt and moral tension. People who are highly conscientious or sensitive to ethical standards may experience such dreams when they feel they have done something wrong, even in minor ways. The crime in the dream may exaggerate a small real-life mistake, transforming it into a dramatic act to highlight the emotional weight of guilt. In this sense, the dream functions almost like a moral mirror, amplifying internal feelings to force recognition and reflection. It is not uncommon for individuals to wake from such dreams feeling distressed, even if they cannot immediately connect the dream to a specific waking situation. Another important interpretation involves suppressed emotions, particularly anger and hostility. In daily life, many people avoid confrontation or repress negative feelings to maintain harmony. However, these emotions do not simply disappear, they accumulate beneath the surface. Dreams provide an outlet for these suppressed energies. When one dreams of harming another person, it may represent a buildup of unexpressed frustration that has reached a threshold. The intensity of the dream often corresponds to the intensity of the suppressed emotion. Importantly, this does not make the dreamer dangerous. Rather, it highlights the need for healthier emotional expression in waking life. Dreams of committing crimes can also reflect a sense of loss of control. Modern life often imposes pressures that make individuals feel constrained, judged, or powerless. In response, the subconscious may construct scenarios in which the dreamer breaks rules or acts impulsively. These acts, though morally troubling, can symbolize a desire to reclaim autonomy or assert independence. For example, stealing or attacking someone in a dream might represent a subconscious rebellion against authority, societal expectations, or personal limitations. The dream is less about the act itself and more about the emotional need it represents. In some cases, these dreams are tied to fear of judgment or consequences. The dreamer may not actually want to harm others, but may fear that they are capable of doing something wrong or that others perceive them negatively. This is especially common in individuals who struggle with anxiety or self-doubt. The dream becomes a projection of their fears. What if I am a bad person? Or what if I lose control? By playing out these scenarios, the mind attempts to process and manage these anxieties. There is also a symbolic dimension related to personal transformation. In psychological terms, killing or harming someone in a dream can represent the desire to eliminate a certain aspect of oneself or one's life. The victim in the dream may symbolize a trait, habit, or relationship that the dreamer subconsciously wishes to change or end. For example, harming a figure associated with authority might reflect a desire to break free from restrictive beliefs or external control. In this way, the dream can be interpreted as a metaphor for change, growth, or the shedding of an old identity. Cultural and personal background also play a significant role in shaping how such dreams are experienced and interpreted. In societies where moral codes are strongly emphasized, dreams involving wrongdoing may carry a heavier emotional burden. Individuals may interpret them as warnings, omens, or reflections of moral failure. In contrast, from a psychological perspective, these dreams are not judgments but messages, signals from the subconscious that something within the psyche requires attention. It is important to emphasize that dreaming about committing a crime does not mean that one has a desire to do so in reality. Dreams operate through symbolism, exaggeration, and emotional logic rather than literal intention. In fact, such dreams often occur in people who are particularly empathetic or morally aware. Their distress upon waking is evidence of their values, not a contradiction of them. To respond constructively to these dreams, one can begin by reflecting on recent experiences and emotional states. Are there unresolved conflicts, feelings of guilt, suppressed anger, Identifying these elements can help decode the dream's message. Journaling, mindfulness, or even discussing the dream with a trusted person can provide further clarity. Rather than fearing the dream, it can be approached as an opportunity for self-understanding. In conclusion, dreams of committing crimes or harming others are complex psychological phenomena that reveal more about inner emotional landscapes than about outward behavior. They often symbolize conflict, guilt, suppressed emotion, or the desire for change. While they may be disturbing, they are not indicators of moral failure or dangerous intent. Instead, they are invitations to look inward, to acknowledge hidden feelings, and to restore balance within the self. By understanding these dreams, one can transform fear into insight and use the experience as a stepping stone toward greater emotional awareness and personal growth.